Hey friends, welcome to Gary's Potting Shed. I am going to give you a quick overview on some of the things we're going to be covering in this series. And this is going to be a growing experience for myself as well as you all. Gardening is a learning process every single day. Every year, every month, you just grow as your flowers grow. So there's a few things I want to kind of go over and let you kind of know the reason why I wanted to do this series. And I'm a little bit behind on filming for certain reasons or whatever, but with that said, let me explain this to you really quick. This is a non-edited, self-filming video that you're watching. So please be kind in the comments. I'm sorry if the camera's shaky a little bit. It is not going to be edited. There's going to be noise, planes, trains, automobiles, dogs barking, neighborhood noise. The guy down the street's doing some lawn maintenance. There's a lawn service down there right now. Looks like they're wrapping up. So anyway, without further ado, let me give you a quick overview on what's happening and what's going on in my current situation. So what's happened is I purchased this house. We've been in the renovation process for about 10 months. That's actually not true, about 8 months. And we started actually renovating the property after the demo was complete and everything and the cleanup this year, right when the quarantine began, which did create quite a problem with trying to obtain material. A lot of the factories were closed because we were starting from the top all the way down. Roof, siding, interior, exterior, central heat and air system, kitchen cabinetry, flooring, trim, everything. Some additions, everything. And when the quarantine started and a lot of the factories and stuff closed, of course, we had the mandatory stay at home or stay shelter in place that a lot of people had. I think basically the entire country. It was just quite hard to obtain material that we needed. So if you can imagine what would be any worse than that, on Easter Sunday, the night of Easter 2020, we had an F4 tornado that came through the area that I live in. So it didn't actually come to my property. It wasn't a direct hit on us here. It was about a mile away from the direct path of the storm. However, we did obtain some straight line winds that came through, I think, close to about 100 miles an hour. Some of the trees stayed. I don't even know how they didn't break apart or whatever, but we did lose quite a few. And that actually put a setback to what I had actually began, because when I was unable to obtain some of the building material and things that had to be special ordered, and meeting with designers and contractors and everyone to get things done, it shut us down. So what we're having to do is kind of work on things as things are available. It's going to be a work in progress. So on this series, that's going to be some of the things that you're going to be going through. It may not always be about gardening. It may be about construction. It may be about building that deck on, or adding that addition, or ordering that roofing, and all of the things that are going around with that. So with that said, I want to explain something to you guys about this video and why I wanted to do this series, because it seems like on most of the videos I see, it's either established gardens or it's where someone has purchased a property and they've been able to come in and they've created this beautiful garden setting and everything that, quite frankly, none of us will really be able to obtain. And this garden situation that I have here is a brand new installation. No one that has ever owned this property ever gardened. They never did anything. However, what is the point, a valid point that comes true with that is years and years and years of neglect means years and years and years of great composting. So I have got incredibly great soil to work with here. So on this series, I want to show you guys a few challenges I've faced, a few things that are going on here. Excuse the lighting right there. This is unedited, so this is keeping it real. So I guess you can tell behind me, right above my head, we don't even have the lights put on the front of the house yet. So the ceiling's not completed. The columns aren't painted. Some things aren't finished. So, but we're going to be getting around to that. So without further ado, let's go up here and start by the garden gate. I did start the renovation process and working in the yard and doing to create my garden with the resources that I did have. So I was able to construct a fence because we wanted a front barrier, and this pergola with this great gate entrance going into the yard. And these flowers right here are absolutely gorgeous. They are a showstopper. I'm not sure how the lighting is going to be for you guys, but people absolutely love these. I am a huge fan of Proven Winners, and these are Proven Winners Super Petunia Bordeaux. They are absolutely gorgeous. They have the light purple bloom with a deep purple throat. The veining is gorgeous. I've got those mixed with some Persian Shield. A little spiller coming down here is going to be some Creeping Jenny. There's some sedum, some Bleeding Heart mixed in there that's kind of been crowded out or whatever. But anyway, this is just a great, it's a warm, welcoming entrance to the garden that's non-existent. That's the other part about this that's so much fun. So, and then right here on either side of the driveway, we wanted kind of a stately entrance coming into the property. So we built this, here's a prime example of not being able to obtain the materials that we actually wanted in our plans for the entrance going into the driveway. You can see it on each side there. These are concrete block that's stuccoed, and it's a temporary because we're going to be doing some cottage stone and then adding the gates and all that stuff. But at least we were able to get the lighting in. We were able to get the structure in, is what I mainly wanted to do, is just get the form here, and then we'll be going with it. I'm going to do some really nice landscape here when the growing season comes back, and we'll be doing, that'll be another video. Right behind me, please excuse that mess. That's from the siding company. We actually just got the siding put on last week. So anyway, this pot right here behind me is actually, these are more Proven Winners plants in this. Absolutely gorgeous. This is the Super Petunia Vista bubblegum. This is one plant, guys. I am not going to tell you anything other than if you've never planted Super Petunia Vista series, you've got to. Put them, they're actually bred, I think genetically, they're actually bred for, or genetically, they're able to be put into the ground. These are in, obviously they're in pots, they're in containers, concrete containers, and it's actually crowded. That's one Super Petunia Vista, one spike, one, I think this was like a little cup that had the asparagus fern. I can't remember the size of that cup, but it's like a 4 ounce cup or something, or 4, I don't know what it was. Anyway, something like that, with this geranium. So, but it has just filled out, and it has a great centerpiece. It has a great spiller. It has different textures and stuff like that. And it just makes a great entrance to the garden. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful mixture right there. This side over here is in the shade. You may be able to see a little bit better on this side. I did duplicate these plantings. You can see right there what I'm talking about. See that color? Isn't that beautiful? That is so pretty. Super Petunia Vista bubblegum series. Absolutely fantastic plants. So it's a great, great, great plant for containers and or for in-ground planting. Now over here on this side, this is the woodlands area. In the woodlands area, sorry about the noise, there's some construction going on across the street there and some workers are coming in and out. We decided to plant this, I call this the woodlands area. And in this woodlands area, what we have here is some, and the fence is not completed yet. That'll be another series that we're going to show you, or another video we're going to show you guys of how we're going to be putting this fence up to finish filling in to the property and all of that. I've got some loropetalums planted here. I've got some, these are oak leaf hydrangeas, spirea, echinacea, things like that. This is a real dense shade area that I'm planting in right now and working in. We have some burning bushes right here. Burning bushes are one of my favorites. They have great winter interest with their stems or whatever. And we have 3 of those planted. A lot of annuals here. I had to put a lot of annuals in because I was unable to obtain the other type flowers that I had planned. Now, when the tornado came through on Easter Sunday, it actually caused quite a bit of damage. Devastating damage. 750 people lost their homes right down the street from me through that entire area. That zip code is just really wiped out. It's really sad. We spent a lot of time volunteering, which has kind of made me a little bit later on getting this series out to you guys why we're doing a mid-August tour. So anyway, without further ado, let's get back to these flowers and let me show you a prime example of what I'm talking about. I'm just going to turn around really quick and put this on the flowers behind me. And what you're going to notice is there's going to be flowers in here that are sun lovers, and there's going to be flowers in here that are shade lovers that were planted in the shade. Now, Mother Nature took them out of the shade. So this is a type situation that I'm talking about that we're going to have to be dealing with, and I'll have to address coming up. If I'm not mistaken, this year, September the 22nd is the first day of fall, and it is extremely hot. It's extremely bright. I'm not sure how well the lighting is right now, but it's been an extremely hot and extremely dry summer right here in my zip code, because I'm actually hearing that it's been a really wet summer for some people, and some people, we just haven't had the rain here. In fact, I'm out here watering all the time, and there's lightning bolts and stuff that are right down the street where it's raining less than a mile from the house. So in our area, are we in a drought? No. Is my house in a drought? Yeah. So anyway, very difficult to get things up and going, especially when it's first year. We haven't got our drip irrigation system installed yet. That's going to be another video coming up. There's going to be some installation of plants. We have not even done, this is a small cottage style home that we're working on. Guys, my wife and I have already been there, done that with housing, and kids are growing up. Things are getting, life's changing, different season and everything. Life is but seasons. And you can see in the background there, it's very bright, very white. We're going to be doing some series where I'm going to have to use still photos to show you guys the before and after on this property, and what we started with, what we're transforming it into, kind of starting with a blank slate and creating whatever you want it to be. So we chose neoclassical. We're going with that style, that architecture or whatever. It plays good in the area. We're in the southeastern corner of the United States, Tennessee, zone 7B. And anyway, I'll just kind of keep you guys up to date on the process of, and the progress, I guess, of getting the house renovated and getting some things done. Now, what I want to show you here, and this is a little island, people call them islands, people call them cutouts, whatever you want to call them. In this particular area of the yard, this is where the driveway, it kind of like curves around from the street, and then it curves around and comes around toward my potting shed, and then it curves back to where we have some parking back there that actually is going to be a garage. That's another kind of a point of what I'm getting at with not being able to obtain material right now. We'll build a garage. We can build a garage anytime. Right now, those contractors, those builders, those supplies need to go toward people who don't even have a home to live in. So we're not a priority. I'm not in that big of a hurry. I want to enjoy the process. I don't want to stress about it. That's the number one thing that I see with people doing renovations to their homes and stuff, is they just want it finished. Enjoy the process. Enjoy it. It is so creative. It is so much fun. I love to watch things be creative and evolve into something that you want. You have a vision. And besides that, you know, my wife and I actually talked about this. We've actually changed our minds a couple of times. So where we were going to originally put the garage, we're no longer going to put the garage there. We're actually moving that to a totally different location. It makes better sense. So maybe that time frame that we needed to go over or whatever was great. Here's another situation I want to point out to you guys of how Mother Nature can change your plans. Look right behind me at this beautiful crepe myrtle right here. This is first season too. Actually, this was planted right before the tornado, about a week. It was staked. Thank you. It was staked, and it did not get hit by any of the falling trees. It's in full bloom right now. Pollinators are loving it. I come out here all the time and look around. This area did get some direct sun in the middle of the afternoon, but for the most part, the bottom area, the root systems kind of stayed in the shade. There's situations that some lawns have that to where I kind of watched it. This was going to get about 4 to 6 hours of sun, but the base of the plant here really didn't really see any sun. Now it's getting sun all the time. And if you look what I underplanted it with, impatiens. Impatiens in my zone require full shade. So what happened? When that happens, I ran to the nursery and I found some brand new flowers by proven winners that made their debut this year on the market for 2020. This is called the Supertunia Snowdrift Vista Series for in-ground planting. That is one plant, guys. That is one plant. I've kind of kept it trimmed to stay within the borders of where I put it. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? It loves sun. They do like moisture. We do not have irrigation here yet. I've been keeping it water first thing in the mornings. And when we planted, now these actually are planted in the ground. There's no, I did use a little bit of biotone when I put them in the ground, just a little bit to get them a little kick start to get going or whatever. And then we use a water soluble fertilizer that we're on a weekly routine with or whatever. But isn't this flower bed right here truly gorgeous? Even though it is not planted in the right area, this is another one of those, oh my gosh, Mother Nature had a different plan than I did. So I just did what I could. Luckily, this crepe myrtle right here has actually grown enough that it's created quite a bit of a canopy. And this canopy actually is helping the processes of shading about probably, I would say 2/3 of this bed. And it's not a very big bed, and I'm glad I didn't make it any bigger because it would have been really, really difficult to keep it, I guess, maintained, because I'm having to water a lot. Sometimes I even parked the car here so that it will shade it. And but I went on ahead and did the Vista Supertunias on the sides. Let me come around here and you'll see what I'm talking about. Some of these look a little worn out from the sun and the heat. And then here's another one of those on this side. Another one of those Supertunia Snowdrift by Proven Winners. I am such a fan of Proven Winners plant. Their name really, really rings true. We also have, so this is the east side. What's behind me is what we call the east side of our garden. And then the central, this is not a big lot. This is not acreage. This is approximately 90 by 140. And I want to give you a quick overview and a quick cap on what's going to be happening this year. So this year, one of the things that we're going to be working on is the remainder of the year is going to be tidying up, getting ready for fall. I've been working on a little bit of propagation on some things that I already had that I moved actually with me from the other property or whatever that I wanted to bring along with me, and got those potted up now. They rooted well. I had about a 75% ratio on that success, which that's exciting. I had to use a lot of annuals this year because of the, I was working in flower pots while construction crews were taking away trees. I had tree service here. They were helping me do tornado cleanup, chipping, chainsaws running everywhere, and I'm over to the side planting. So anyway, planting pots and containers. So anyway, and I was able to put in some things like this beautiful limelight right here. I love this limelight. This is a structure, a tree form. single stem. That's a beautiful, beautiful accent to anybody's landscape. I just absolutely love those. I even put some cannas up here in this pot to have a little color and everything, that we're going to be transplanting those into the ground in an upcoming video. And these little pot holders that I've had for years and years and years, I've never actually planted them before until this year. And I kind of wanted to do a little bit of an experiment. So I absolutely love the Supertunia Vista Series petunias. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to plant in the ground and in pots and kind of see the difference of what type of results I would get. I use the same type of organic soil, the same watering schedule, the same fertilizing schedule, the same, pretty much the same kind of area. The ones on the top, see that pot up there, how big the Supertunia is? This is absolutely gorgeous. That one is one 4-inch container planted in about a 22-inch pot. These, oh, there's a pollinator. Hi, do your thing, buddy. Makes me happy. These are planted in 12-inch pots, and they're hanging on the bottom of this deck that we're going to be actually replacing and changing pretty soon. But anyway, the difference in these are the sizes. I'm wondering, Proven Winners is really good about responding to you with questions or whatever, and I haven't had an opportunity yet to send them an email to learn more about their plants. I just know that I'm a huge fan. I'm almost thinking that the one on the top has actually grown because of the size of the container that it's in, which, if that makes sense, please be nice in the comments below. If you know that that's a fact, please let me know. So I would appreciate that very much. So anyway, well, guys, I don't want to just keep dragging this out. Thank you for your time. Thank you for looking over some of the garden and part of what I've started this year. This is basically like an introduction of myself, introduction to you guys. Be kind to yourself, be kind to one another. If you like the video and want to follow along on my journey of transforming our cottage into a cottage from where we are right now, a few things, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment, share it, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram. It's Gary's Potting Shed. If you have any questions or comments and you want to send those to me, send them to me at garyspottingshed@gmail.com. And I'll be happy to get answers to you on that really quick. If you have any suggestions of what all you think that I should do to my property or do to my garden and in my situation or whatever, I am wide open for suggestions. Again, I'm in zone 7B. So it's been quite of a challenge getting started this year. But you know what? You and I are going to grow together. So thank you so much.